Okay.
We can.
Can you still record as well?
Yeah, we should be able to.
Cool.
All right. Yeah, probably should have got that ready, but whatever. All right. All right. I guess we'll get her started. Welcome to episode. Oh. You guys?
Yes, sir.
What's up? Yeah.
You good?
Oh.
Uh
Live stream.
oh. As soon as he went live, it died.
Can't hear anybody.
Fuck.
I'm gonna lose it. What the hell, man?
Fuck.
Mute. Hello.
Yep.
Yo.
I have no idea. I can't hear anything.
Damn. I wonder if
Fucking,
Trevor can just guess when we're talking. I don't know if unless he can. The recording can't hear us either. Maybe it can.
the recording is probably fine. It's probably something just on his end.
That's what I was thinking. Like, but I don't know shit about that.
Might just have to fucking chalk it up till tomorrow.
Yeah, it's getting late.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, can you hear us?
Yeah, I think it. Wow. Okay. I think it switched over to my phone.
That's weird.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you guys. I'm trying to get the audio to count. Wow, this is a total shit show. Now my AirPods just. Nope, there they are. Okay, I don't know what was going on, but I think we're good now. Oh, here comes Utah for the cover. Up 7. 10 seconds. All right, well. All right, I think we're good now. I can hear you guys. You guys can hear me.
Yep.
All right. All right. Well, finally, we are live then for next episode for Friday's picks and maybe even get into Saturday's board. Depends on where it takes us. But how about you guys? How's the week been so far, betting wise? Noticed anything that you've been riding? Anything you've been avoiding? Anything like that?
It's going pretty good. I think I'm up almost 5 units on the week, so pretty good. I think we're just riding with teams getting undervalued like Oakland, like as we mentioned in the last show. I don't know. I think there's some live dogs on the board that you could probably get some good value on that I just haven't been taking the money line, just been taking some short spreads. But yeah, I think that with the mid-season tournaments going on, there's definitely some good value on some of these dogs.
Yeah, I'm 6-1 on best bets, so I'm feeling good about that. But just trying to not blow my wagers on some random like live bet that I'm watching. But something I've been looking at is with there's a system to neutral port unders. I mean, not most of the time you see it, but while you're watching it, right, when it starts out super hot, you can get some good value, because it is a game of runs. So if it just skyrockets, or let's say, it's 10 points above what the first half total was pre-flop, you got value and edge there, maybe, but you're basing it on the game of runs to insist and some regression happening. So it worked today. We'll see if it works tomorrow. So yeah, you got anything, Trevor?
Yeah, no, same as you guys. Just finding these teams that we've been finding some value on and just attacking them. I mean, UMass Lowell probably should have won outright tonight, but they barely didn't. But that's an ASU team that we've all identified as just a bad team, and not just us, but a lot of people. So just same thing, looking at teams to attack, and I've kind of got one tomorrow that I'm really liking initially too. So I guess we will just hop into the games for tomorrow. I've got first one. I'll take Butler at Michigan State. Butler's catching 8 at Michigan State. The over under is 139.5. I'm leaning Butler here. Michigan State has not looked good at all this year. Not saying, I mean, the Tennessee scrimmage, they look good, but that's a scrimmage. During the regular season, they've looked suspect. Lost to JMU. Lost to Duke. And I'm spacing on the other game, but they did not win that either. So they're sitting at 1-2 early in the season. Finally coming back home. They're going to play in front of the home crowd, the Izzone. But I think Butler's just rolling. That team's shooting the ball right now. They're rebounding. They're playing together, playing fast. They're not making dumb mistakes. Michigan State can't really shoot the ball right now. If that clicks tomorrow and they rout Butler, so be it. But Thad Matta's got Big Ten experience too from Ohio State, so he's going to have these guys ready, not too shaken up from the environment or anything. So I'm going to take Butler +8, and I will sprinkle on that money line. I think they're going to win this game. So that's where I sit tomorrow for that one at East Lansing.
I love it, Trevor. Yeah, Butler, new team with Thad Matta last year, and they kind of were pretty bad, but that's what happens when you're trying to figure out how to play basketball together. And they're coming in hot. Thad Matta's done a good job. And just something to point out, Michigan State hasn't covered an 8.5 spread in 13 of their last 20. Now, given that's Big Ten play, so there's just always some slobber knockers, but that is telling, and they're going to try to be playing way too hard, coming off at 1-2. And you're right, they lost to JMU. And Duke. So, and they did not look good in the other game that they won against Southern Indiana, even of all people. They won by 23, but that's a game you need to win by more, as they're a 343rd ranked opponent on KenPom. So yeah, I think this is a proving ground for Butler. I don't trust Michigan State to cover at all. I think it's a great read, and just want to shout that out.
Yeah, it kind of just feels like a spot where people are all expecting Michigan State to get right too. Like, they're coming home. Here's their get right spot Friday in front of the crowd. Don't get me wrong, it's gonna be an electric environment, but you don't just wake up and fix things. They've shown the issue of not being able to shoot the ball from deep, which can affect them in the game. So not too worried about it being a quote unquote get right spot. Butler's been pretty damn good so far.
Yeah, I completely agree. And I just think it's proving ground for Butler too, to make sure that they're a legitimate team and playing in a tough conference of the Big East. It's going to be a live total bet for me as well. I'm going to be watching that for live total.
Yeah, I'm with you guys. You guys pretty much covered it. I think Butler's obviously on paper, I think Michigan State's a better team and they have the better players, but they're just not clicking right now. And I don't really see them getting up and going against the team that's doing the exact opposite of them. Michigan State's struggling to shoot, struggling to score, and Butler's doing the exact opposite. So yeah, I'll die with Michigan State like bouncing back and being in a get right spot for them. But 8 points is just too many to lay with them versus a good Butler team.
Butler defense, number one efficient defense in the country. I mean, given they've lost to nobody or played nobody really, but still, that's gonna translate into Breslin.
Yeah, I think Butler's definitely live in this. I think, yeah, like Trevor said, sprinkling it on the money line too is a good call.
Yeah, it's not March. You don't have to be afraid of Izzo 100% yet.
Yeah, exactly.
I think it's time for him to retire. No, I'm just kidding. I won't disrespect Tom Izzo on here. Sorry.
Jesus. One that
Hey,
I'm
comes a
looking
time.
at. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh no, I was just saying it comes a time. Everyone got an end. That's
Yeah,
it.
eventually it'll come to an end, but not yet. I think one that I'm looking at for tomorrow, one spot is this Miami Georgia game. I think everyone had their eyes on Georgia to start the season because obviously they're the first game that really kicked off the season with like actual teams playing. I think a lot of people were on them, and I just don't really see this team being that good. I think Miami. I think the spread is 6.5. I think Miami could roll this squad. I'm just a big believer in Jim Larinaga and this guard play from Miami. Obviously, they lost their two best guards, but they reload. They have those two guys. Poplar coming off the bench last year proved that he deserves a starting spot on this team. So I like that. I think Miami's going to be able to keep up the pace in this game, and I think Georgia's just not going to be able to hang with them. So I like laying the points with Miami over a potential spot for me as well, as it is 155.5. It is very high, but I wouldn't be shocked if Miami just puts up 85 on this team. Miami's not afraid to run it up, so I like laying with Miami and potentially an overplay for me.
Yeah, I agree. I think Miami's gonna just run roughshod on them. I don't think Georgia's gonna be ready for this up tempo and the pace here. And I was listening to the SGPN guys, and they had a good angle too. It's out in the Bahamas, and the Miami kids they're used to the whole beach atmosphere in life and what it all entails. So I don't think they're really going to be too affected by that versus the Georgia kids. It's essentially like a spring break. So it might be a little angle there. Maybe they night out or not focused 100%. But I think I like that little angle they had too. I think Miami's going to be just fine.
Yeah, and like per Ken Palm, I'm just looking at some of the advanced stats they have. Like their adjusted offensive efficiency is 16th in the country. Their average possession length is 5th in the country. So, like I said, they're ready to push the pace like as fast as they can. Effective field goal percentage is 64.5, which is 5th. 3-point percentage is 50, which is 3rd. Like these guys are not afraid to just run the score up. And I don't think Georgia does also play at a very fast pace. They're 14.6 seconds per play, which is 19th. But their offensive stats are very bad, like 45.1 effective field goal percentage. That's 261st in the country, 29% from three, even 46% from inside the arc. Like I think Miami is just a powerhouse offensively. Like, of course, they're going to let up points because that's, it's going to happen. But I don't think 6.5 is big enough of a spread.
Yeah, I'm completely with you, and I think when it comes to Georgia now, I feel like every cap everyone has in the world is like, oh, we're betting against a Mike White team. Well, Mike White's not playing, like Georgia still has to play and win the game. I mean, and that's where Larinaga and Miami and just the talent are going to troll Georgia. Yeah, I think they win by 10 for sure, 10 or 12. I'm with you, Nick.
Yeah.
Go for it.
I got an interesting read. I faded them in their own fucking explicit home court, but I'm going to take them in the warm Nassau, Bahamas. I'm going to go Providence. I think they opened at +1, but I believe they moved to favorites. I need to double check as we speak. Yeah, they moved to -1. I'm going to take it now. I bet they get to 2 or 3 by 6 o'clock tomorrow Eastern. Providence is the better team. Bryce Hopkins is really good. Kansas State's still figuring things out. I think they got a lot of steam just for, they were the internet favorite. They were my favorite team. I love watching Marquise last year. But I think Providence on paper has got the better team. They're playing an outstanding defense. Now, given Wisconsin didn't shoot the ball well, but they ran Wisconsin out of the gym and just didn't look good. And Kansas State hasn't looked good on defense the entire time. They did absolutely roll South Dakota State, but South Dakota State's not the same South Dakota State that we knew. So I'm going to take Providence coming out, shooting the ball well, and fading that Kansas State defense that they can't stop. It's 146 points. I don't have a read on the total just due to Providence's defense. Kansas State's going to run and gun. Providence kind of likes to play that half-court offense. So I think the total's right on the money. It's my stay away there, but I'm just going to take Providence on the side and spray and pray.
I actually kind of lean the other way. I kind of lean Kansas State here in this one, personally. I'm not really sure I'm going to play it, but Providence away from the dunk. Who knows how they're going to be. New coach, not under Cooley. And they did play the Badgers. Badgers are not athletic. Other than AJ Stores, they're really not that athletic or up-tempo at all. I think Kansas State's probably going to have a little bit of an advantage, a little bit of experience, and Tyler Perry can take over a game. I lean that way in Kansas State, but I'm not playing this game, so just me.
I think one thing we have to look for in this game is the amount of turnovers that there's going to be and who can just limit themselves in turning the ball over. They're both bottom 300 in turning the ball over. So I also kind of lean Kansas State here. Like you said, Providence away from the dunk, and the production that they lost last season is definitely a bit scary. Obviously losing like Croswell, Locke, and Bynum. They retained Carter and Bryce Hopkins, who Bryce Hopkins is a bucket. But again, like you said, of course, Kansas State lost Keontae Johnson and Marquise Noel, but Tyler Perry transferring in from North Texas is really big for them. Tyler Perry is a fucking baller. So I really like him being on this team and kind of leading it. Obviously, the lacking size in Perry. And even this entire Kansas State team is a bit smaller in Providence, like as a whole. So Providence could, get some easy rebounds. But it's such a small spread away from the dunk. I kind of lean Kansas State as well.
Yeah, I mean, you can go either side. Absolutely. It's a coin flip game. The boys are fading me. It is what it is. We'll take it.
I'm like Trev. It probably will end up being like a no play for me. It'll definitely be on one of the TVs or one of the monitors that I'm watching, obviously. But it's such, like you said, it's literally just a gamble. Honestly, it's such a close game with two, pretty good teams.
I don't know if you hear that dog in the background, but it's annoying.
Nice.
Okay,
You're good. You're good.
I got my mic on at least, the directional mic. But yeah, no, I mean, Kansas State's got to figure out how to gel together. They got the pieces. I mean, Tyler Perry's really good, but they got to figure out how to gel together. And with the travel, who knows? We'll figure it out. It's going to be a coin flip game for sure. So nothing more in a unit.
Yep. I feel it.
Fair. Yeah, I'm going to go next game. I'm going Dayton, St. John's. It's a pick right now. Pick them, and the over-under is 140.5. I'm going Dayton. I had LSU today. They burnt me with like a bunch of people today, but I love what I saw from Dayton. That resilience. They came back. They didn't give up. They kept fighting, and they turned around with their defense. One thing I noticed from St. John's, they start incredibly fast and hot, and then they sputter. They cannot close out games. They did it game one for the cover. I think they were up 21-22. That game got cut down to 16 or 15 once Soriano left within like the last 3 minutes of the game. Game two, they couldn't close out. They lost. Today, what happened? They couldn't close out, and they escaped. So I think Dayton's got enough guys and defense to hang with St. John's today. I was against Dayton, but I think Deron Holmes will be decent against Soriano. And I forget the guard's name, but he had a great day. And especially that just the whole defense and energy towards the end of that game from Dayton. I think they're going to be up and ready for that game tomorrow against St. John's. I think St. John's will probably start a little hot, but I've noticed they just don't close games. So I'm going to back Dayton tomorrow and pick them. Who knows? Maybe even live after. It's probably smarter after I just said this. Just take Dayton second half. But if I had to pick, I'm gonna pick Dayton to beat St. John's tomorrow. I know it's Patino and whatnot, but he hasn't shown that these guys are really really gelled yet. So I'm sure they'll be fine at the end of the year. But right now they kind of they don't have that instinct to just finish the game and end it. They let teams hang around, and then it bites them in the ass a little bit.
Yeah, I think the pace of Dayton could kind of throw St. John's off as well. St. John's definitely looking to play a bit faster, obviously not like super quick in comparison to some other teams that we'll talk about, but Dayton is 345th in average possession length, and their tempo is 352nd. So they're like straight up bottom 10 in terms of tempo, which I think is probably going to throw St. John's off a bit. I mean, we saw it with North Texas today. They had a lead like the entire game and still couldn't find a way to just finish it and win by 3. So yeah, they burned a bunch of us. So I think Dayton will be efficient offensively, and I think they'll be good enough defensively to at least hang in the game. I don't know. I think everyone's probably going to turn on St. John's tomorrow. We're going to see a lot of Dayton tickets, at least like in our world of like gambling Twitter. I think a lot of people are on St. John's. I just don't know. This is probably another stay away for me. I definitely don't trust St. John's, but I wouldn't be shocked if they win this game by like, one possession or something, just because they are going to be the more talented team, like on paper. But I think St. John's is going to prove to probably be a lot worse than what people expected for them coming into the season. Obviously, a lot of hype with Pitino coming in, but it's definitely not a team that I feel comfortable with after watching them today.
I'm just going to fade you guys because you faded me. I'm going to take St. John's. It just feels like St. John's. I mean, I probably won't take it. I just hate betting on it. But this just feels like a spot that the Rick Pitino, something's going to be back in this, and just the vibe of it all, of St. John's doing well in the preseason. I have no read on it whatsoever. I mean, both teams kind of defensively. They're okay. St. John's has an edge when it comes to offensive rebounding, but they don't on defense. So it's complete opposite there. Are they a little more athletic than Dayton? Yes, Dayton probably plays a little more gritty basketball. I mean, it's another one that it's a total coin flip. You can't be wrong on either side. But I don't know. I lean the other way when it comes to like people being proven wrong about St. John's. I think a lot of people will take St. John's tomorrow due to just the public of it. I'm going to be looking at the line movement before I bet anything. Definitely waking up and looking at it in the morning. I'm trying to figure out if there's any side there. And potentially doing a little under spot too, of course. So, there's no actual read on the game when it comes to the stats. But I just have the vibe that Pitino and the refs are going to be backing it.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I won't be shocked at all to see St. John's like be ahead this game and just win it. I think it's just a spot where I want to stay away from them after watching them all day today. It was just disgusting how they couldn't cover, and they only put up 53 points on North Texas. Like, I don't know if that's more so on North Texas defense or just that offense not being able to make anything. But
yeah, that was shocking, especially today. I mean, North Texas they're normally not that high scoring games, but that's in the past kind of. So hasn't happened this much this season. I'm also Dayton, the read on Dayton, they've done well in preseason tournaments. They're just kind of like that Cinderella team, like no one really talks about anymore. I don't know.
Yeah, Dayton's definitely like a fun team. They're usually, I remember the Obi Toppin days. Like
they got hoed, man. They got hoed, dude.
Dayton's always one to give these like big like major programs some trouble. Like I feel like Dayton's always has like a good team. So we'll see.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be a great game.
Yeah, I do too.
100%. I mean, I think there's a ton of good. Like today, every game on the slate was amazing. I mean, there were a couple blowouts, but there were so many good games today. I think it's gonna be the same tomorrow. But yeah, I don't know. Like you said, St. John struggled with North Texas's defense. Dayton's got just as good of a defense, if not better. So it's gonna be an interesting game. I would have to lean under there tomorrow too. Just another grimy, just defensive slugfest. 140 seems kind of high.
I bet it starts out hot and we can snipe a good line with edge right away. Because like you said, it's going to come be like 8-8 in the first 3 minutes, 17 minutes to go, jump up a little bit, and then you can bang that under. That's another edge there, I think.
Yeah, I think anything I'm leaning in this game is going to be second half. Either second half under or it's going to be Dayton second half. Because I think I've noticed that St. John's just starts hot. Then that second half, after halftime, they just kind of flatline. So we'll see how that goes. But I'm going to hop into another game, another banger game. St. Louis Pick'em versus Vermont. Over-under is 144. I did not get eyes on the St. Louis Wyoming game today, so if you guys did, hop in. But I love what I saw from Vermont today. Down 15, resilient, didn't give up, and John Becker had them playing mean defense, keeping everything in check. So they're gonna have to allow them to come back. And then when they did, they rolled them. I think they win by 8 or 10 points or something like that. Like they ended up taking the lead. They were down 15, won by 10 at the end of the game. So I love what they're doing. They don't have a Duncan brother for the first time in forever, but they got John Becker still, and they got Hoopers. So I'm gonna go with Vermont on that one over St. Louis. But again, I did not get eyes on St. Louis. I think they'd won by, I think it was 10 or
I
something.
think they won by
so,
10. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah, I like Vermont in this spot for sure. I think their offense is, I mean, they're a gritty team. They were down, I think, 15 at some point in that game today, and then fought all the way back and won outright. So, yeah,
they're rebound like crazy. Like that was the big thing, was their rebounding hasn't gone away.
yeah, I think, and obviously, like I think everyone knows, like Vermont is definitely a squad that we'll probably see in March. Like they've won the AAC 7 years in a row now. So, of course, like this type of competition isn't super similar. They're playing up in competition, but this isn't a team that you're just going to be able to walk over and treat it like a bye game. Like Vermont's gonna be in these games. So, yeah, I definitely am on your side with Vermont in this one. I think it'll be good though. I think St. Louis is definitely also a very good team. Like I feel like they're always in contention for their conference as well. But we're not going to have to lay any points as of right now. It's just a straight up pick 'em. So I like Vermont.
Yeah, I would lean Vermont too. But I did see first half. I think it was a tie game, or it was like a one possession game from Wyoming and St. Louis, and then second half they kind of kicked it on. So that might be another game where things kind of start hot, and then the defense and coaching adjustments second half kind of take their stranglehold on the game, like they did today similarly.
We'll see. This is again like a lot of these, like I feel like these in-season tournaments, like is just one super fast-paced team against one super low-paced team. Of course, like they definitely don't plan that out, obviously, but it just feels like it is that way. Like Vermont, one of the slowest teams in the country with 20 seconds average possession length is 351st, and then St. Louis on the other side is 15 seconds is 39th. So it's just like which team is going to be able to control the pace of the game, which I feel like it always usually leans towards the team that's slower. If Vermont can be up on defense and slow down St. Louis, it's definitely going to play in their advantage. So yeah, I lean with the slower teams in these type of matchups where the skill gap is pretty similar and the slower team can just control the pace of the game.
I'm going to live bet whatever team goes down 10 points, because both team was down 10 points and came back and won at like plus 340 or whatever. It's going to be one of those games. This game will be a sweat on either side, 100%. This will be a 2 to 4 point game, unless, like you said, Vermont's defense can do what they do best and control the tempo as well. If the defense can match the tempo, I mean. But yeah. Yep, that's my read on it.
Yeah,
both teams came back.
Shout out Butterbear710 in the chat. He actually said Wyoming out rebounded St. Louis by 13 today, and Wyoming shot 14% from three. So I mean, thanks for that information, Butterbear. But yeah, so I mean, if that's the case, Vermont can rebound the shit out of the basketball, and they can shoot the ball. So I would definitely lean Vermont in this one, and I will probably lock that up. That'll probably be one of my 3 best bets tomorrow. I love John Becker and the Catamounts.
Love it.
Another year of John Becker doing what he does best.
Vermont just running the American East always, most of the time. I love it.
I think they're like minus 150 to win their conference or something stupid.
As they should be. There's value.
Yeah, they're turning into kind of like a parlay piece for that conference with somebody else.
That's what me and Ryan from SGPN were talking about. We were trying to find something to pair Colgate conference winner with, and Vermont was our second leg of that. It just seems like both those teams are just never going to lose this conference.
Oh yeah. I mean, they really just have to compete with UMass Lowell. That's it, and it's regular season, right? That's not conference tournament.
Yeah, and UMass just choked tonight too. They blew a 10-point lead in the last 3-4 minutes of that game. So
Yeah.
Good luck playing like that against Vermont.
Yeah.
We had to talk about American East basketball on here on this pod. We haven't yet really. So
Yeah.
that was the best.
Yeah. Huff, you have one you want to talk about?
Yeah. It's not on our list, but I'm going to ride Texas A&M minus 19.5 again. I know it's not on our list right here, but that's probably going to be one of my best bets. They've been on my best bets. This will be their third time on my best bets, and I literally have only have 20-ish something bets. 6-1 this week, by the way. I haven't told the whole world. I'm just going to keep riding them. I've been hot on them. I love that team. It's not the same Oral Roberts team that we know and love. They're a good team. Yes, they lost to Missouri State by 15. They lost to UT Arlington as well. UT Arlington's a really good team. They've gotten some good pieces in the transfer portal. We're really seeing true parity in college basketball. So I'm going to ride A&M. They're at home. They've been away twice. They've had some good away wins. Even SMU is a good win away. I expect them to come out hot and in front of their home crowd and win by at least 20. So I have it at 19.5 right now. That is definitely going to be 22 by tomorrow morning. Guaranteed.
Yeah, I could see it going up. And like you said, this Oral Roberts is not what we've seen the last couple of years with Max Asmus and Connor Vanover at center. Like this team is 354th in offensive rebounding. Their defense is 257th in adjusted efficiency. Meanwhile, you look over at A&M again, it's another slow-paced team that can control the pace of the game. Their adjusted efficiency on offense is 19th. They don't turn the ball over, like very rarely anyway. They're top 15 in offensive rebounding, so they're going to get a lot of second chance opportunities in this game. So I like laying the big number with them if I had to as well.
Yeah, and I think I never like laying big numbers, especially against Texas A&M. They do play that ground and pound basketball, and it was not an easy cover against SMU, but they turned it on at the end there. But and Wade Taylor, Tyrese Radford, Henry Coleman. This team is fun to watch, and a piece to watch in the Big 12 to, SEC to run the SEC. And win it outright, even against Arkansas and Kentucky.
I'm looking here too. A&M, they rebound the ball offensively. They got the 42% offensive rebound margin this season, and Vermont, Oral Bob's given up a 32% offensive rebounding percentage on the defensive end. That's 230th in the country. So I kind of like Texas A&M's team total here.
What's it at?
I don't know. We're gonna have to
need me to do some math.
Yeah. But I think they should
Nick,
probably wall them.
Hit the math, Nick.
I got you. Hold on.
Nick's
it's gonna be
our
like,
first time listeners. Nick knows the math to this. We have to ask him every time.
it's gonna be crazy high. Like what I have right now is 84, so it might be like 83.5, 84.5.
I don't hate that, to be honest. I mean, A&M's put up 78, 73, and 79. They put up 73 on the road in Ohio State, 79 against SMU. This will be the worst team they've seen since Commerce. Commerce, they whooped by 40, so maybe they kind of took their feet off the gas. But Oral Bob's not as bad as Commerce, but defensively, they give up points and they don't grab defensive rebounds really. So this could be a good spot for Texas A&M to kind of really lay it on. Is this neutral or is this at A&M?
No, it's at
A&M.
Oh yeah, okay. I kind of like the team total here. Just show out against a poverty school coming in on a bye game. Just put it on them.
I mean, and like this team plays on Thanksgiving. I don't assume Penn State's a look ahead. Virginia's 2 games away at Virginia. I don't foresee that to be a look ahead either. Penn State, Texas A&M, Thursday, November 23rd. Screw the Lions. Screw the Cowboys. Watch that.
Yeah.
We get Georgetown on Thanksgiving too. What a treat.
Oh, awesome. That'll be great.
I'll be.
What would you like better in this game?
Cousin.
Going for that Thanksgiving walk.
Yeah.
What would you like better in this? Would you like that team total if it was at like 83 or 84, or would you like to lay the 19? 20?
I'm laying the 19 now. It's gonna move to 20 something. I guarantee it. I don't know about the team total. Just, I mean, I think they can easily score 85, but if it's in the 80s, that's a lot of points for a team that only scored 78 against Commerce.
Yeah, I'm with Huff just because they play so slow. I'd rather lay the points, and they're also not a good 3-point shooting team, so they're going to look to get a lot of their points inside the paint. So if they're playing their possession is like 18 seconds a play, like there's not going to be too many plays. That's because, like we said, the slower team usually controls the pace of the game, especially if Texas A&M is winning. They're going to slow everything down. Obviously, if Oral runs on the court, and is quick with their possessions, like some 12-second possessions or something, they're obviously going to give A&M more chances to score. But 84 is super fucking high for A&M, who, like I said, can't shoot the three. They're not looking to shoot the three really. So I'd rather lay for sure.
And they're going to play some tough defense. I can assure they cover. I mean, nothing's ever a lock, so I don't want to say that, but I just they're going to come out playing hard in front of their home crowd, and people think it. I mean, people might bet on Oral Roberts. I don't think so, but I definitely foresee it moving to 20-ish something. But we can move on from this game. That's pretty gross. Oral Roberts.
I mean, it is. It is fair if they're not shooting threes as well threes, and they're taking their time on possessions. They're getting the offensive rebounds, and Bob's giving them up. So, they could probably pull away by 20 and win 74-53 or something. So, yeah, I like that spot better than that team total. Thanks for talking me off the edge there.
I could be wrong. I'm an idiot. So they could just put up 90 on this team, and
if they put up 90, they're going to cover.
Yeah, that's fair. I think if they score that many, I think you're probably. I like that argument. Is like I think if they're going to cover, like obviously they're going to have a lot of points, but I think they could. I don't know. Like if they're going to score 85, they're definitely going to cover. So I guess it's just whichever way you want to play it.
Oral Roberts. I didn't know he's a Christian televangelist. That's what the name is.
Really?
Yeah, I just looked it up. I was like, what
Oral Roberts is a Christian university.
Oral Roberts University of Spirit Empowered Christian Education. Yep. I was like, what is Oral Roberts? Was he like some like pioneer or settler? But enough of this Oral Roberts. This isn't 2 years ago versus Ohio State. So what do we got, Trev and Nick? What's next?
I'll give us one, and I don't really have an opinion on this, so I'm going to look to you guys for some opinions. Maybe you can talk me into one side or the other. We have San Diego State versus St. Mary's. Mary's is laying 1 point, and total's 131.5. St. Mary's obviously coming off a brutal loss versus Weber State, which is just horrible. They only put up 57 points. And then San Diego State lost that game to BYU at BYU and then bounced back and took out Long Beach State the other day. I really don't know what to do in this game. Yeah, they put up 88 points. I know we were all over that under, and they fucking blew it out of the water. I don't really know what to do in this game because I initially want to take the under because I just assume that these teams are both really slow. But that's really only the case for St. Mary's. They're 331st in possession line. San Diego State's actually 83rd. So they're actually kind of playing a bit up tempo. I don't know if it has to do with the roster change or the teams that they've been playing. But again, like we've talked about it before, they're going to have scoring droughts with this team, just the way that they play. And they're still also not really going to look to be shooting from three unless they have a wide open look. They're more, inside the arc in the paint play. But their defense is so good. They're 14th in adjusted efficiency on defense. But you look at St. Mary's, they're 28th on adjusted efficiency for defense. Both teams top 70 in offensive efficiency. So at first, I really want to take the over, but I'm scared of St. Mary's not being able to score. I mean, they only put a 57 on Weber State. Like I said, that's really fucking gross. I mean, obviously it's probably just a super, super off night for them. They're obviously not that bad. But
they blew a 16-point lead.
Yeah. They shot 40%. That's disgusting, dude. Yeah. They were up 11.5. Yeah. I mean, they shot 18% from three. Again, I don't think St. Mary's is a team that's looking to just make it rain from deep. But shooting 18% is just bad. You can't be doing that. So I don't know. I initially want to take the over, but I could also see an argument for why that would be a shit bet. What do you guys think?
I mean, based on what I've seen this year, San Diego State went into BYU and lost. They had the lead in that game, lost it late. I mean, we know BYU, Provo, tough place to go play. They come back. They, if I remember correctly, they beat the hell out of Long Beach State.
It was a 12-point dub.
Oh, it was only 12. So
Yeah, so they didn't
Okay,
even
so
cover. I don't
they-
think.
They were
No,
up
they
a
gave up
big
12
time
points.
though at one point.
Yeah, I'm sure they took it off at the end, let the subs come in, but yeah, it was
Yeah,
88
true.
to 76.
St. Mary's doesn't have a ton of run and gun. They've got Mahaney and Dukas. Like, they got some players, but San Diego State has just looked really good. Like, they came out and they jumped on BYU a little bit. They had the 7-point lead, and then they just went cold. They did what San Diego State does, scoring droughts. Tomorrow is, if they're going to play a team that's going to give up or force scoring droughts on them, it's going to be a St. Mary's squad. Was this neutral or was this an invitational type of? I did not.
It's in T-Mobile Arena, Las Vegas.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's a neutral site. So
Buckets fall in that building. I will admit
that is the one. Actually, I remember hearing this. This is the spot for first half overs when they host a tournament there or something, or conference tournaments.
Yeah, I mean, and IU Arizona played there, and everyone I know fucking went there, and that first half over hit with these. I mean, just by Arizona alone, but and the game before that did too on this similar. It's not this invitational, but just a similar arena. You know, there's a thing to neutral court unders of like taking every neutral court under and it hitting, because it's kind of out of style and out of fashion though. Back to what it was. If you don't like St. Mary's to hit your over, what about San Diego State's team total? It's going to be around what, 67, 68 probably.
That's just what I was.
And this is very easily a game that could go to overtime.
I lean San Diego State on my side. We'll see if I have any role at that time because all the games tomorrow. So, but I kind of just lean San Diego State on the side. It does scare me. I mean, you'd think St. Mary's had just lost to Weber State, but that's motivation too, you know, like that's motivation to come out playing super hard.
Yeah,
Or,
for sure.
do they not have the pieces? They beat a decent New Mexico team, given it was at home. But
New Mexico is good.
Mexico's good. Yeah, they're really good. They're not covering at all this year, but they're good.
It's because their spreads are so fucking huge.
Yeah, the books are like overly respecting New Mexico, and I feel like the books are disrespecting San Diego State. Randy Bennett, Brian Dutcher. It's gonna be an absolute slobber knocker. It's another game. You can have both sides, but I just lean San Diego State, just the way they play, and they're playing a much faster pace game of basketball as well this year as compared to recent history of San Diego State. We'll just see if St. Mary's can slow them down. It's sometimes painful to watch a St. Mary's game.
No, I wouldn't say painful. It's beautiful.
Painfully beautiful.
Painfully beautiful.
It's awful.
Yeah.
I actually was watching that Weber State comeback game, and I couldn't believe it. I was like, they're gonna get a bucket. Like, they're gonna escape this game. They couldn't buy a bucket. They couldn't do anything. Weber State was getting some coast to coast. They were hitting some big shots, some big threes. All of a sudden, it's like, oh, it's an 8-point game. Now it's a 4-point game, and then all of a sudden it was tied, and then they're taking the lead, and St. Mary's still couldn't respond. It was a crazy drought. There are droughts, but that was something insane, kind of like what LSU did today. But St. Mary's, I don't know if they really got the guys that'll hang with San Diego State early in the season. They put up, San Diego State's put up 88-65. They lost at BYU, and then 83 on Cal State Fullerton, and then St. Mary's put up 107 on St. Stanislaus, and then 72 and 57. So their offense has kind of just been reverting back a little bit, and now they're going to play the best defense they've seen on a neutral floor. So I would, even after that, I would probably lean over, just because I think these two teams can be neck and neck and possibly even go to overtime or get a 60-61 game and then play fouls late. But I would never play an over with these two teams. I like San Diego State in this one too.
I might root for points I might root for points with Nick on that, and Maybe it goes down to 120, like 9. It won't go down much because 131, it might even go up. But what covers that? 66, 66, so 67, 65.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and if it's close, you got to worry about the free throw game late, and both of these teams can shoot free throws. So, well,
Smart.
St. Mary's is only 65% so far this season, but and San Diego State 69. So I stand corrected. They've been struggling a little bit, so I still wouldn't play it under 131. That's too low for two teams that are probably going to be neck and neck most of the game. So, but I lean San Diego State in this one, but I will not be betting this game. I will be watching. I will not be betting it.
Yeah, I think if the total stays where it's at, I'll probably take San Diego team total just because I do kind of lean their way as well. I think their offense is just better, and we'll see. I think it's going to be a gross fucking game, but like you said, there's definitely potential for some late fouls being a close game, so I'll take it.
San Diego State's also got a 20% turnover rate on their possessions this year, so they're not doing too good at hanging on to it, and neither is St. Mary's 21.2. So they're both 285 for St. Mary's and 242 in the country for offensive turnover rate. So right there's some quick coast-to-coast buckets, some quick steals or something. So lean over, no play in this game for me at all, but I love it. I will be watching.
Yeah, for sure. Gonna be on the screen 100%. Any other ones you guys want to touch on?
Yeah, North Texas LSU. Who in the hell is betting LSU after what they saw today?
Me.
Nobody. But I feel like it's the play. But I don't trust LSU. I like North Texas. I like what they did today. Their defense was stifling, but LSU also kind of lost that game because Reed fouled out at the end. Granted, they let I forget whoever they played. They let them go on an 18-2 run to end up taking the lead. Dayton, yes, sorry, the 18-2 run at the end of that game ended up overtaking them. So I don't really trust LSU. North Texas plays grimy, slowed down basketball just like Dayton does. I would lean under in this one, 130. I think that total is pretty telling too. That North Texas is going to get the game they want, but I'm not backing the side. I would play under in this one. I don't know. LSU, I don't know. They look good for spurts, and then they just did what they did at the end and just shit the bed. So I would lean North Texas in the under in this one. I think it's going to be pretty defensive based on that total.
This team lost to Nicholls State.
Whoa.
Hold on.
Nicholls State, man.
Hey, hold on. Well, then we did bet on Denver in their squad ride, but a team
then I took them today and they fucking cashed.
yeah, that was good.
Yeah, they're 8-point dogs.
7.5.
Triple overtime with South Alabama.
I wish they would have just fucking lost. Dude, it was 1 point every time, and then someone just kept hitting a free throw. It wasn't a fucking last second three or like a layup. It was literally free throws like every time.
Refs are just
20 seconds, 5 minutes to play out.
So stupid. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, you're right. Like Nicholls State, I mean, there's parity, and LSU is just a money laundering dog shit program. Excuse me. Hopefully I don't get sued. I don't mean that, actually. It's all a joke. But, I'm just going to lean the under with you. I can't take either of these squads. But this is a live bet opportunity that I think can happen. Maybe it comes out fast. North Texas maybe matches LSU for the first couple of minutes, and then they take over the final, hopefully rest of the half as much as they can based on their possession length. So yeah, I'm hoping LSU comes out. I hope North Tech it's 6-4 first 3 minutes, and then smash that under first half under. I'll be better about tweeting than my live plays. Sometimes I'm just so dialed, and in the lab I just forget. But I'll be better about tweeting that and following the system that we've been talking about the last few episodes.
Yeah, I do think LSU is actually the play here. Like, they're as bad as they've fucked everyone today. Like, their defense is actually pretty good. Their offense is also like pretty reliable. Like, they create some turnovers on defense. They're going to be able to steal the ball from North Texas and get some hopefully fast breaks and get down the court. But yeah, like looking at their adjusted efficiencies, they're top 70 5 in both offense and defense. Their 3-point percentage is very good. Their 2-point percentage is very good. 71% from the line, which isn't like super, it doesn't really strike me one way or the other. I think 71% is fine. It's, you can work with that. But like you said, I think people are probably going to be scared to bet them after choking away that game, but I also don't want to really back North Texas. Like, I think they are a good team. But I mean, how many points are they going to be able to put up in this game? Like, again, this is another game where we have a fast-paced team versus a slow-paced team. Like, North Texas is disgustingly slow at 20 seconds per possession, 348th, and LSU's 57th in the country. So, like, if North Texas finds himself like behind in this game, I just really don't trust them to be able to run up the score and catch up, even though I guess they did it against St. John's today. So I could just be completely wrong, but I think LSU probably is the play.
That goes to my point. LSU is the play, but I can't touch that. But goes back to my point. St. John's just runs out of energy, runs out of gas at the end. So I don't know. They start hot and they just don't finish. But just a quick side note, I think I'm going to play Niagara for this Hawaii game.
Love it. I think if that's you're going to play, that's the play.
I mean, the total is 127.5. I don't think Hawaii.
Is it still 13.5?
13 now.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Who the fuck? Hawaii's played Hawaii Hilo.
Yeah, they've only played one game, so you don't really have any stats on them because
this is going to be like a 48 to like 55 game.
It's shocking that they've only played one. Like, I saw South Florida yesterday boned all of us too. They've only played one game before yesterday.
No one wants to fly to Hawaii, or they don't want to go.
Bullshit. These kids probably want to go to Hawaii.
Well, they do.
This is also a midnight body clock tip for these kids too. So this game will be getting done around 2 a.m.
No way. They'll go to. They don't want to go to Hawaii right now. At least like the first 2 games of the season. At least as the coaches don't. Yeah, if I'm a kid.
Yeah, like, why can't we play in January? Like, what the hell?
That's true, but it beats fucking flying to Wyoming and playing them.
Hold on a second. No, I'm just kidding. But the Great Frontier is amazing. Duke, Bucknell, how are we feeling about it tomorrow? What is it, like minus 31.5?
It's gonna get up to like minus 90, I think.
Is this a little kind of not a letdown spot, but just an overlook spot for Duke? So yeah, it's Bucknell.
Yeah, I mean, it's
just came off of Michigan State traveling.
I'm never gonna fucking lay 30 points with any like that. Those are types of games that like I just never lay. I don't care if they're playing my high school. Like, I'm just not gonna lay 30 points because it's like, I mean, how many minutes are the starting 5 gonna play? You know what I mean?
Yeah, so I mean, maybe
Bucknell team total under. It's probably going to be in the 50s though, so that'd be
first half team total under. I mean, once they put the second stringers in, I mean, look what Townsend did today. Good Lord, they had 17 points at half, and then Houston kind of took their foot off a little bit.
Their first half team total was 21. I mean, but the team total at pre-flop for Towson still hit thanks to Nick. But
I think it was 51.
Yeah, I got it 52. It moved to 51, but then it was like 47. But then it was like 22 at one point live in the first half. That's just insane. I'm going to call out one more that I think will make my best bets. Stay tuned for the tweet tomorrow. Things change. May have a bonus play again. Sweating a first half under. I'm going to lay the points or team total with Iowa again. This team just is unreal. I don't know about 18.5. I think I'll definitely end up laying the points and their team total over in a parlay. This team just it's like unbelievable basketball. They just go. And Creighton could have had 100-something points. So maybe the play right now is 171 total because Arkansas State does the same thing. Arkansas State runs and guns just like Iowa. But what makes me like the spread, Iowa beat the shit out of North Dakota and Alabama State. Arkansas State's a much better team in their first match. I just think that Arkansas State doesn't come out shooting a ton of shots at Iowa, making a lot of shots, shooting a lot of shots, matching that tempo. And the team total might need some math, Nick. 171 total. With 18.5, I think it's 90 something, right? I have no clue.
95,
94, 95. I'll still take it. This team's gonna score 100. Ken Palm's got it 93.77, which would make that a barely an under.
Yeah, I mean, Iowa is a fucking wagon. They can put up a bunch of points on anybody, so I don't super hate it. I wouldn't personally touch it. That's so many fucking points, but I know that's
Sorry,
that's your
what
thing.
was the total?
Like 95.
I mean, they put up how much did they put up? 80 something on Creighton on the road. Now you're
You know
coming
what?
home,
You know what?
Austin, beat the
I'm
shit out
gonna
of
I'm
somebody.
gonna maybe look at the first half there too. They're gonna come out hot in the first half. They just always do. Even if they score like 8 points in the first 2 minutes, they end up scoring a shit ton of points. And against Creighton, they had 43, but they were down at one point by like 12 at a time. They had 49 against Alabama State. If it's anywhere in the high 40s, I'll take it. They had 56 against North Dakota. I don't know, just something to look at. I'm just going to keep taking that wagon. The regression will suit in. They could have a look ahead spot going to a neutral site against Oklahoma. Don't know how look ahead that is.
Arkansas State is 45th in seconds per play too. So
Dude, yeah.
this might
They're
be
gonna-
a super fast-paced game, actually.
I know. That's why I'm like, that's why I think Iowa can score a ton of points. Do Arkansas State actually go into Iowa and make a ton of shots? Look at Arkansas State's defensive effective field goal percentage, 32 in the country. Turnover percentage, they don't force turnovers at all. They don't make free throws. They can't defend the 3. They can't defend the 2. And Arkansas State let Alcorn State, even though they won, score 84, Bowling Green 75, and let Wisconsin score 105 points. I don't think they could do that in 3 games if they tried. Love you, Trev.
Yeah, no, the Badgers will never do that again. That will be a record that will stand the test of time in Madison. But McCaffrey and the Hawkeyes love nothing more than beating the hell out of these little teams when they come into town. They pay you. They pay them. They're going to make sure they get their money's worth out of you. They're going to beat the shit out of you, and they do not care.
There's a lot of teams that don't run up the score. They're one team that runs up the score. And we only have a few more games left of this because Iowa will be They'll be good, but they'll be like from here on out in big games. The over will always be a play, but I just told myself the last few years, just like I do with like random bets, like just take it. Take Iowa's team total in November.
Yep, it's a fail-proof system. Yeah, we've seen that already. Also, A&M's minus 20, and IUPUI just to a favorite.
19 and a half. IUPUI just came a favorite.
Mm-hmm.
I told him, Ken Palm's got him favorited. It's the first time I think I've ever seen him favorited on analytically. Ken Palm, what the hell?
Absurd.
That is absurd.
Miami, Ohio's only laying 13 versus Coppin State at home. Interesting.
Coppin State, man. Whew.
Yeah, they're pretty shit.
They're scary. It's a first-year head coach for Larry Stewart. I thought Juan Dixon coached there. Did he go somewhere else? I need to be better on my knowledge.
Pretty sure he left.
I'm not good with following coaches unless it's like super big programs.
He was fired. Damn. What? He's not even coaching right now. Anyone got anything else before the night ends? We're catching up at midnight. I feel like we ran through everything. Florida State.
Oh, no. We got to talk about our darlings.
Oh, yeah.
The Mastodons, IPFW.
Oh, yeah. Talk about IPF. We're taking IPFW.
They're laying 2.5 neutral court against Northern Arizona. Over-unders 149.5.
Oh, yeah.
I mean
IPFW
this is a neutral
fucking
court.
wagon.
Yeah, it's a neutral court in Arizona, but I don't care. Give me the Mastodons. This team is rolling. This team is good. This is a Horizon contender. It's early. Right now they were a Horizon contender. So I'm gonna lay the possession with them. Granted it's a 3-ball, but if we get down to where it's that tight at the end of the game, free throws and we'll get there. But yeah, I like the Mastodons. Been riding them. I think they're gonna drop a game here pretty soon, but I don't think Northern Arizona is the team that's going to knock them off the top right now.
This spread makes like no fucking sense to me,
sense.
to be honest. I don't know how the fuck they're only 2.5 point favorites.
Got to dive in.
I think
It
they're
makes more-
taking
Apparently-
in effect that it's in Arizona, but it's not
Yeah,
like
but that's so. I mean, who cares? Like
that's
Northern
what I'm
Arizona.
saying.
Northern
I don't-
Arizona's adjusted offense efficiency 270th. Effective field goal percentage is 42. Their offensive rebound percentage is 18. So these are all like bottom 300 in the country. 3-point percentage 21%. Free throw percentage 57%. Like I don't know why. I have to let me see if there's any injuries. But this
IPFW
doesn't make
forced-
any sense.
IPFW forces turnovers on the defense, and Northern
Yeah,
Arizona coughs it up like a lot. And they don't. Northern Arizona doesn't rebound at all. Their 3-point percentage is 21.4. They're shooting 57% from the line. I mean, Purdue, Fort Wayne, these guys are getting
Feed Bello,
5.4
man.
steals, 78% from the line. They're shooting 43.6% from deep. I don't think that's sustainable, but and Northern Arizona is only allowing 27.6, so they're a top 100 unit, top 75 unit against that. So that's where they can take them away. But Northern Arizona turns it over. They don't rebound the ball. They don't shoot the ball well. The IPFW is not insanely great at forcing bad shots on you, but they can hold you in check a little bit. They don't let you shoot deep. They grab rebounds, not offensive rebounds. They're one of the worst in the country, but defensively they're grabbing a bunch. They're keeping you off of the second chance points. I don't know. It does kind of stink, but Northern Arizona, I don't know. They're so bad.
I think the only cap on Northern Arizona is the height, but it's not like I look at like Goliath and I'm afraid of Dave. It's not a Dave of Goliath situation at all. Like Purdue Fort Wayne's got some hoopers, man. They got Rasheed Bello, Anthony Roberts. They have a couple Radford transfers, one of them being, Anthony Radford. And then they got Illinois Chicago transfer Jalen Jackson from Fort Wayne. Shout out Powers Hamburgers in Fort Wayne. It's an absolute staple. It would make your car reek of onions for freaking weeks, but it's the best sliders anyway. So that's my cap on Purdue Fort Wayne, and that's why they continue to be my darlings as well.
3.5 now too.
Bang it.
Oh,
Let's
is it
take-
really? It went up
take
a
it
point
now.
already since we
It's
got
already
Let's
moved.
take it now
Damn,
then.
Damn,
It's 4 on DraftKings.
That's going to be
Damn,
five
what a
and a half in a
shit.
second. DraftKings, of course.
I am
taxes.
betting it right now.
Yeah,
Damn,
I'm taking it now too. That might
It
be on my
doesn't-
best
it
bets as
doesn't-
well. Squad ride.
It
Ooh.
literally doesn't
Yeah.
make any sense.
Once it comes on my freaking offshore books.
What's that like? What's
Oh,
that
here
like
it is,
meme?
-4. I see.
Yep.
Damn, it's -4 in my fucking book now.
What's that
Yep.
meme? It's like when he like looks at you like, they like look at each other like this or whatever. That like reel or whatever. It's like, are we
Oh,
sure we're
those
betting IPFW?
Dude, we're not actually gonna bet Purdue Fort Wayne the Mastodons.
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Oh, it's like those two brothers on TikTok that do it.
Yeah,
all the time.
no. Like I don't want to bet Purdue Fort Wayne and throw 3 units on it.
Yeah, exactly.
It'd be really terrible if I click submit bet on this, but I'm not gonna do it. Yeah, I don't know. -4, I think that's it. I won't go higher than 4. 4 is kind of pushing it, but I think it'll probably go up, but I wouldn't lay 4.5 or 5.
Might win by 100.
They might, but it kind of reeks a little bit. I kind of want to keep it within like 1 possession and a free throw. I don't want to
Yeah.
be going 6 points or something like that could get a little dicey.
Yeah,
Especially on a
3.5 is
neutral
minus
court.
110 too. It moves so fast.
Damn.
I think that line that's gonna get steamed. Like it has to get steamed.
Yeah. It's 3:30 game. It's gonna be Is
Yeah,
that the only game by itself too, pretty much?
I don't know. Tomorrow's kind of fucking loaded.
Yeah, no, the games are starting at 10:30.
Yeah,
no, there's Gardner
a lot
Webb.
there's a
coming
lot
at
of
the end.
games going on. There's a lot that tip off at 4. So there'll be games going on.
Bear in
But
the chat saying FanDuel's got 3.5 right now. FanDuel
Yep,
doesn't work
that's
on
what
my
I-
computer. It doesn't load up.
that's what I
Shout
got
out
it.
Wisconsin.
Can you bet it in there or no?
No, I DraftKings and like Barstool Sportsbook. I can go on there and look at stuff.
You
but-
can look, but you can't place. Yeah.
Yeah. Hold on. We got to talk about shout out Butterbear bringing this up. I totally forgot about this. Sacred Heart UMBC, the 10 a.m. game. How are we betting this? I kind of like Sacred Heart.
We talked about this, or I talked about this with one of my buddies, DC Bets. He likes Sacred Heart. I think for me, what I was talking about is the over in this game. UMBC is the fastest in terms of possession length. They're legit first at 13 seconds per possession, which is just insane. And Sacred Heart's 115th, so they're pretty good, or pretty fast as well. Sacred Heart puts up points. I mean, obviously put up 95 against a D2, but then they played Iona and put up 81. Holy Cross, so I think is going to be a pretty decent team. Obviously, they're not going to make a lot of noise, but they put up 84 on them. Their 3-point percentage is 4th in the country at 48.7. Their effective field goal percentage is 56th. UMBC obviously not that super gifted offensively. They only put up 65 or 59, in that loss to Marist. But then we saw on opening day when they played Louisville, they put up 93 points. So I don't know, again, if that's just more of Louisville being that shit. But if they can have even 70% of that offense versus Louisville, I don't see why this game won't go over. I think it's super high total, but
yeah, it's 160 right now. Just under 115.
That's super fucking high.
116 and a half. Sorry.
If I had to pick a side, I would lean that way.
I wouldn't. I'd root for some points. I mean, 11 a.m. is kind of a scary over time, like to take the over 11 a.m. Just random, but also it's 11 a.m. People, there's also a cap to that as well. One thing to point out though is that Sacred Heart likes to shoot the three. UMBC defends the three very well as well. I think that's going to be the X factor, is like Jay Billis and all those guys say, is like the X factor in this game is definitely going to be how well does Sacred Heart shoot the three, and if UMBC
the X factor is, are they going to make their shots or not?
The X factor is, will there be defense played?
Yeah, it's going to be like whoever puts the more points in for sure. But I mean, I seriously mean that though about the 3-point percentage. I mean, UMBC defends it really well on the perimeter. That's the only thing that they really compliment on their basketball. I mean, they're okay at forcing turnovers, very middle of the road, a little above average. But yeah, Sacred Heart, top 5 team in shooting 3-point percentage in the country. We'll see if UMBC can defend it being a top 30 team. I think that's where it's going to come down to it. And UMBC doesn't shoot free throws well either. So I think that's why they lost against Louisville watching that game, because we all had the money line sprinkled, but the cover was straight. So
yeah, I mean, you're right. And Sacred Heart's defense, UMBC's 3-point defense being that good. And free throws will definitely come into play in a tight game like this. UMBC shot 54% from the line against Louisville, so that definitely bit them in the ass.
The flip side of it is Sacred Heart can't defend the three at all. UMBC is okay at shooting three, but they shoot. I mean, they shoot most of their shots are in 2-pointers. But
yeah, but 34% as a team from three, it's
good.
Probably,
it's
it's middle of the road. It's 141st, so they're top half of the country. So it's not like they're bad by any means.
Yeah, we'll just see what they do on that front. I think it'll come down to the 3 points on both sides for sure.
Definitely. I'm looking here. UMBC's opponents 3-pointers game only 16.5. That's 37th in the country. So they haven't seen a ton of them. They're not. It's not like they've seen 25 attempts a game or something. So
skewed data. We got skewed data.
I mean, it's going to happen early in the season, but I mean, if you just look at that, they haven't defended it a bunch, so that might skew those numbers a little bit, especially when they played Louisville, Marist, and then Penn State, New York. So I definitely lean Sacred Heart in this one. They play better opponents. Went to Iona, lost by 7, and then you beat Holy Cross at Holy Cross after the Georgetown win. Granted, Georgetown's not that great, but it's a P5 win for a mid-major, so. On the road, so that's impressive. But I don't know. I like points. I think Sacred Heart kind of writes that 3-point defense for UMBC, but I don't think Sacred Heart's going to shoot 50% from 3-point land again tomorrow. But
are you sure Sacred Heart can go into Chesapeake Employees Insurance Arena? No, I'm just kidding. That's so bad. 11 a.m. Chesapeake Employers Insurance Arena. That's a standalone game. For an hour.
There be square.
Yeah. It's hilarious.
Well,
I have no read. I'm rooting for you guys.
Yeah, I mean, I have nothing now. I might. Who am I kidding? I'm either playing this or the North Texas game, but I will be playing Vermont. Still pick them on DK. I'm saying so.
I want to
Um,
keep. I want to shout out a quick game, and that's probably gonna be my last couple. But Gardner Webb Weber State is going to be a good game. I don't know what the over under is on it. I have to look it up, but that's going to be a good game on both sides. It's only 139. I know Weber State is slow with the basketball. They just got done playing with St. Mary's, but I foresee that. Right. I'm not going to bet the over, but I'm just want to call that game out. Those are two really good teams in the mid majors conference. Weber State laying 4. I kind of lean the points then.
off of the Miracle St. Mary's win too.
It kind of
Gardner
and
Webb's been pretty damn good lately too. If I remember, they've
they've
pretty
also
competitive.
they've warmed up with Arkansas and Baylor. It's at a neutral site as well. There's no home court advantage. Moncton NB, I think that's Canada, right? Yeah, New Brunswick. So we'll see. That'll be a fun game to watch.
Well, I don't think anyone in the country's played a tougher schedule than Gardner Webb. Like,
No,
holy hell! At Arkansas and at Baylor, kept them both within 20. I mean, 20 on the road to Arkansas. They put up 68. Then they lost by 15 at Baylor, 62. Those aren't embarrassing losses by any means, and they stayed fairly competitive in them. So, I don't know. Weber State neutral court off of the Miracle St. Mary's win, kind of like Gardner Webb in that.
Yeah, it's Gardner Webb's defense is absolute mud water. I mean, that's the only thing but those stats that are showing defenses for Arkansas and Baylor. I'm just worried. I think the points might be a little scary just due to Weber State's pace of play. But that's data skewed as well, just because they've played St. Mary's. So I don't know. Maybe I think the read is potentially the over, and hope that this game is like 70, and there's your cover.
Yeah, I'm looking at this. Gardner Webb, so they played Arkansas, Baylor, and then Erskine. They walloped them by 40. 14.3% turnover. It's top 70 in the country. They don't give the ball away, and their 3-point defense 25.9%, 53rd in the country. So they played those two teams, and they kind of held them in check, and they haven't been giving the ball away. I think I just talked myself into Gardner Webb +4. Neutral court coming off the insane.
You guys are crazy.
I'll fade my own system of neutral court unders and saying maybe just rooting for the points there, just so I can relax on it. But could be another live spot. Where I need to be. I'm decent at geography. Where the hell is New Brunswick, Canada? Oh my gosh, New Brunswick is literally almost in Greenland. So maybe that fares Gardner Webb a little better. Eastern Standard Time still, man. I think that's all the way up in Nova Scotia where they're playing.
Yep, they're playing in Canada.
Weber State's got to go far for there now, given they haven't played since Sunday, so they're both warming up for that travel. But
they beat
that's hilarious.
Benedictine, Mesa, and then St. Mary's on a crazy.
Hello, Canada. Gardner Webb, Weber State. Welcome. Let's go. I love it.
Then they got to play Yale on Saturday and then Colgate. So they got some games coming up, but I don't know. Call me nasty, but I kind of like Gardner Webb just from that whole angle of coming off the win, and they've played arguably like the toughest schedule in the country.
Yeah, I like it, and I'll root for the points too. I'll tell you.
Weber only laying 4 against dog shit Gardner Webb. Come on.
It'll go to 6. Don't even bet it right now. That's going to move towards Weber State, I bet. But we'll see.
Yeah, I'm putting that on my sheet. It's not going to be a best bet, but you can bet your ass. I am betting Gardner Webb tomorrow.
You can bet your ass I'm going to find that on Hulu tomorrow and see how many Canadians are watching some great basketball. We're presenting
hockey jerseys everywhere. All right. I guess you guys just want to hop in. You guys got your 3 best of some plays that you're looking at tomorrow?
Yep. I'll go first. We talked about Miami. I'm going to lay the 6.5 with Miami. We also touched on San Diego State. I'm going to go with the team total. I think it's going to be 64, 65.5. I like it at either one. And then, like I just said, I already locked up IPFW minus 3.5. So those are going to be my 3 best bets for tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Iowa team total over. We don't have it, so I just will lay the points. The total's already moving 172. It's now hitting. I have A&M minus 19.5 as well. We're going to take some big spreads, and then I'm going to take San Diego State money line against St. Mary's tomorrow. I may have different best bets by Twitter, but those are my 3 best bets early reads. Holy shit, Hawaii's beating Niagara by a bunch.
Not ideal.
Not ideal. Aloha, Trevor.
Yeah, that's not looking good, huh?
Only 20-4. Don't worry. There's 32 minutes left in the game. You're all right.
It's so early. What are you guys worrying for?
Nope, it's over.
It's
Call
over.
it.
It's every
It's
time we say that they come back. So
Not now that you
Bet
just
them
said
again.
that, or you just gave out our secret. Damn. Now they're really good.
they're all good. All right, Trevor, what are your 3 best bets? Round us out. Cinderella
All right.
at midnight.
All right, my 3 best going to be Butler plus 8, and don't be afraid to hit the money line. I think they give Michigan State a game, and I think they have a legitimate chance at winning that game. I got Vermont pick 'em first. God, I just had this here. St. Louis, better rebounding. John Becker, they can shoot. I'm going to back him again after that crazy game they had today in St. Louis. Shout out Butterbear again. St. Louis got outshot or out rebounded by 13, and then Wyoming shot 14% from 3. So I don't think that'll continue again for Vermont. And Vermont responded nicely today after they went cold. And then I'm with Nick, IPFW minus. I'm seeing -4, so I'm gonna have to ride -4. But yeah, I like IPFW. I don't see how Northern Arizona kind of hangs in this game. Maybe they do for a little bit, but at some point IPFW's got to pull away. They're just the better team, and they're playing much better ball right now. So that's where I'm sitting.
Yeah, that'll probably be on my tweet for best bets, but I mean, we might just do that as a squad ride. I think, right? We're 1-1 on squad rides. Try to get to 2-1. I like it.
Yep. I love it.
Hell yeah. Well, yeah. Any other games that you guys have your eyes on? Oh, IUP wise, no.
I was just about to say IUPUI. I'm not even kidding. I was just looking at it.
That game's gonna go crazy.
I think all eyes are going to be on IUPUI. I mean, this is their year in Destiny. They just got, for some reason, they were 17.5 plus against Indiana State. They lost by almost 40. I don't know anything about Elon. I can't bet this game. No one should bet this
Elon.
game.
I had Elon the game 2 they beat Eastern Tennessee, and they got incredibly lucky. So
Let's just take the under. And just root for bad basketball. Let's just take the under and hope it's like 60-60 something. I don't know.
Hold on. We're forgetting a major game here.
Florida
Grand
State.
Canyon, San Francisco. Oh, and that too. But Grand Canyon, San Francisco. That is a banger game. I think it's neutral, but it's definitely not in Grand Canyon, unfortunately. That place is rocking.
That place is rocking. I went to the Waste Management Open, and it's not too far. In Glendale, right, or Scottsdale or something.
Yeah, I think it's Glendale, but I could be wrong.
It's in Phoenix. Yeah,
Phoenix.
Oh fuck, Bryce Drew's the coach too. I didn't even know that. That's hilarious.
Yes, Drew, brother.
Dude.
Remember last year they had, or the year before they were at the tournament, then they had to borrow Baylor's practice unis because their uniform guy forgot theirs.
Yeah, I do remember that. God, the 144 is fun.
It feels like points. I mean, San Francisco can put the ball in, and they don't really play fantastic defense. Well, I guess they do, but they've played. St. Francis and Bethesda lost by 5 at Boise State.
Yeah, they're not the same team as like the last few years of scoring like 80 and 90 like consistently like in the WAC, but Grand Canyon's going to force them to almost, I feel like, which makes me like the points. But
Grand Canyon's 62% inside the arc.
They're good. Grand Canyon's good.
40% rebound. Yeah. No, I know they've been good this year, but they haven't played at SEMO, Northern Arizona. They beat Northern Arizona by fucking 34.
that makes me feel good about the
IPFW is going to roll them by 25, 30.
Grand Canyon may be the edge too. Just there is a semi-home neutral kind of vibe to it, even though it's in Glendale. We'll see if they travel well. I have no clue if they travel well. So
They don't really play much, but they return a lot of guys, if I'm not mistaken. They could be a nice team to make a run this year, potentially. Nice sleeper team.
USF turns the ball over. They're the worst, one of the worst teams in turnover percentage too. Now they played
Not
Boise
surprised. That
State.
game was horrible.
That game was,
Raheem didn't even call a timeout. I think he was just letting them kind of work through it, and they did not work through it. they were bad. I think it was kind of just a let them learn type of experience because he did not call timeout. He didn't seem like he cared too much. Obviously he cared, but it wasn't like he was like, all right, we got to get back into this game. Kind of just left them out there to kind of do their thing. So
well, I might roll Grand Canyon. Well, might have to add that too. I may have multiple best bets. Maybe do double best bets because this slate is so awesome tomorrow. Grand Canyon minus 3.5 may have to be the play, or over 144. We'll figure it out.
definitely figure it out. But yeah, we'll have this tweeted out and get our best bets tweeted out. But Butterbear, Sports Better, thanks for joining us in the chat. You guys are legends. First day of the show, going live. You guys are here, so we appreciate you. Yeah, do you guys got anything else? Otherwise, we'll skedaddle out of here tonight.
Nope. Just make sure to follow at Pump Fake Pod on Twitter. We'll post all the best bets and everything. But yeah, no, that's it.
Yeah, we want to sponsored by Blue Chew. No, I'm totally kidding. Sponsor us. No, yeah, that's every podcast sponsor every time. So yeah, go ahead and give us a follow and sponsor us, please.
All right. Well, thanks, guys. We'll catch you next time.